Okay, let's get into this dress. Now, this dress is stunning. Stunning. When I saw this, when a lot of my other fellow luxury evening wear designers saw this, we all reposted it. Such a moment, such a beautiful, beautiful gown. This is by Clasikq Diane. Um, and her work is beautiful. Her style, I love that you can tell her style from a mile away. You always, when you see this texture of design, this fabrication here, for me, I identify that with Clasikq Diane, because a lot of her dresses, which I will show, have that texture, that style of sewing, and that fabrication on it. So let's get into how this dress is made. Now, you're going to start with the base, right? I like to tell my students and my little mentees, let's start with the base. What does the inside look like? What does the lining look like? For me, I almost use the lining as a base slash muslin, mostly because I do a lot of rush orders. I do a lot of quick orders, so I use my lining as my muslin. That's what I fit people in, the base of the gown. And then once I fit that base, then I add all the details and do the top fabric, especially if something is hand beaded like hers are, or hand sewn. So look at these bases. These are like base corset dresses. Now, you don't have to get a corset built in your dress, but a lot of these dresses, especially the Nigerian dresses, are based with a corset gown. These gowns like these. And if you want the resource link to get some of these corset base dresses, buy my resource manufacturing wholesale list. It will be in the description. I link to where you can get the fabrics from this dress. I link to where you can get the beading. I link to where you can get the base dresses. That's all in the resource list. But if you want a dress like this actually made, book a consultation with me from the other link in the description, and we could possibly get your dream dress started if you're more local to USA, or of course you can always do online booking. But let me get back into it. So these base dresses, base corsets, those are the base of the gown. As you see, she puts her clients and she fits them in those as well. Make sure that those base fits perfectly before she does any hand beading or working with the materials to put that on the dress, because it is very time consuming. You want to make sure the base fits perfectly before you start adding all these details. Now, this fabric right here, again, the link to these fabrics and resources is in my description, in my resource wholesale or manufacturers list. This one, I'll put the name of it over here. It comes in like these wide strips, and I believe that you can get it at longer or wider widths if you get them custom made specifically for an order that you're getting. But usually there's multiple pieces that you get them, as you can see here. And then you kind of stretch them out and manipulate them to be the design and style that you want. Again, hand sewn on. Now, I think you should hand sew it, because when you hand sew it, especially on top of a mannequin, you can really see the placement and see exactly where it's going. You can pin it and then go over it with your sewing machine. You 100% can. But then if you put that back on the mannequin and it's not look right, you have to take it, seam rip it, take it out, put it back on. It's completely up to you. But that is how this is done. You pin it to where you want it placed on the mannequin, and then you hand sew it down so everything stays perfect. Once you're detailing, and this is all, the dress is all covered in these fabric pieces, then you get to the beading process. Now, the first step was hard. The second step was hard. This is the third step. The third step is the beading. You then have to go over this fabric and hand bead whatever design that you are doing. Now, for me, because we don't be having that type of time, especially with the way my clients act for their birthdays and their special events, they come in 2 weeks, 3 weeks before and want this type of stuff, which means I do not have time to add another seamstress for the week onto the calendar to do this hand beading. So usually we do applique pieces, and we'll do this design with applique pieces, and those are still sewn on, but it's not beaded one by one each bead. But they do hand bead, and again, you have to be able to work within your time frame and within your budget, because hand beading, this whole thing, is money either way, but it's definitely going to be super expensive. I would say upwards of, it got to be 7K plus. 7K plus for anything hand beaded. I wouldn't take anything less. Hand bead each flower one by one, bead by bead, minimum 7K. But when you're doing applique pieces and rhinestone pieces that already are flowers, and you're just hand sewing around the edge of the flower or the edge of the leaf, stuff like that, I say maybe 3K, maybe 4K, 4,000, 3,000, with fabric and everything. But details, again, look at the details, look at the hand details. So step one, the base, building the base on its own. And you can get, again, bases pre-made, get the resource list, or you can make that yourself. Make that yourself, especially if you need practice, or if you need your client to make sure that they fit it perfectly and you have to do a couple fittings, then definitely you could do that yourself. Step one, base dress. Step two, adding the fabrication on, adding that spiral beautiful fabric on. Step three, beading the design. Step four, final fittings, final design. And final details. Gorgeous dress. If you want something like this, oh my gosh, are y'all saying bless you in the comments? Because I'm not editing this out. If you want a dress like this for your special event, if you want a dress like this for your special event, prom, wedding, birthday, red carpet, whether it's a mini dress, a long dress, your own design, because I don't do exact replicas of other people's design, right? So what I would do is something completely different. Yes, it might be pink. Yes, it might be flowers, but it's not going to be exactly placed like that. It's not going to be the exact same shade of pink like that, because I am my own designer. So I would design my own design for you specifically. And of course, we would go over all those details during your custom dress consultation. If you want something like that, go to the link in the description and book a custom dress consultation. If you are a designer and you want to have access to the fabrications that they used in this video, in the description you'll also have the wholesale resource list for manufacturers, beading, fabrics, applique, diamonds, silks, all the things, corsets. If you're a fashion designer, you need that list. It'll save you so much time, so much money, so much of the run around, because a lot of this can be done before you even touch the dress. The base can be done before you touch the dress. You can have that fabric custom ordered, let's say in a royal blue with splashes of gold, or a black that fades into a green. You can have that fabrication custom made for your brand using the resource list. Okay, so save time, save money, and then keep your client happy, satisfied, and give them the highest quality for a reasonable price. And I say reasonable, when I say reasonable, I mean you need to price it for the cost of the quality. Never underprice, because then you will always regret it when you're hand sewing 1,000 beads and bleeding. Price for the quality that you plan on giving, and you can give more quality when you have better resources. But if you're a client, hit me up if you have an event coming up.